look, I know we live in a world where we're always praising celebrities, but these are the people that deserve a lot more praise than what they're getting. Because, man, like, these people are real-life superheroes when you think about it. Because, like in the movies, when a superhero puts himself in danger to save someone, these people are doing the same thing. They're basically superheroes. And all the doctors, nurses, and the medical personnel, they deserve a lot more praise than they're getting.
Yeah.
What up? Hey, yo, SB. Yo, peace head, trim out, booze out, smiles.
Hey Mother Eskers, hey, it's your girl Sentia, the nurse outlier. I'm back again today. How are you guys doing? How is the lockdown treating you guys? And how is the self-isolation going and quarantining for those of you self-isolating and quarantining? How is it going? Oh, I know it's quite difficult for everyone. It's quite difficult for everyone, including me as well, because I mean, the workload has more than quadrupled, and believe me, it's not easy. It's a struggle every day, but we'll still have to pull through at the end of the day. I promise. This is just gonna last for a while. I promise. So if you're new to my channel, you're in the right place. Welcome to my channel, Mother Eska. Kindly click on the subscribe button down below and also click the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post new videos, because I'll be posting new videos back to back. And for my old subscribers, y'all know I had you guys. You're my fam. Hey.
Take a look at this picture. This man is part of a medical team that has to go to Wuhan to help the sick. He's saying goodbye to his wife, and their faces say it all about the situation.
Yeah. They both know how dangerous this job is. There's a chance of him contracting the disease, and, you know, this man bravely risked his life to help people in need. And, you know, this picture went super viral in the United States.
Yeah.
Many people were touched by it, and obviously every single comment was supportive. It was just amazing.
Yeah, these nurses and doctors are sacrificing a lot for patients. Take a look at these pictures. They have to cut each other's hair because they want their medical caps to fit tightly against their heads. And they also have to shave the sides of their hair.
Yeah, and obviously that was not easy for these people to do, especially for some of the female staff members, because I know a lot of women really treasured their hair. But, you know, they didn't let that stop them. They knew what had to be done, and they did it.
Yeah. And look at all the equipments that they need to put on. It takes them quite a bit of time to put all this stuff on. And they have so much stuff on that they can't recognize each other. So in this picture, they're writing their names on the back of their suits. And they're also writing, you probably don't know this. They're writing "add oil" in Chinese on the back, which is a Chinese expression that people say to encourage each other. Add oil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also have to wear adult diapers because they don't want to waste time taking everything off when they need to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And, you know, nurses wear gear to keep particles out of their eyes, noses, and mouths.
Yeah. And here's a touching picture showing a patient giving a thumbs up to the doctors. And this last set of pictures is probably the most powerful of all. The medical team members are working so long and so hard that they're just falling asleep wherever they can. Yeah, they're doing everything in their power to help save lives. It's very touching.
It is. And look, I know we live in a world where we're always praising celebrities, but these are the people that deserve a lot more praise than what they're getting. Because, man, like, these people are real-life superheroes when you think about it. Because, like in the movies, when a superhero puts himself in danger to save someone, these people are doing the same thing. They're basically superheroes. And all the doctors, nurses, and the medical personnel, they deserve a lot more praise than they're getting.
Yeah. And we wanted to make this video as a thank you to all the men and women who are helping to fight the virus.
Yes, thank you.
Oh my God, this is so heart-wrenching to watch. Honestly, this is a very, very emotional moment for me. Like, watching this video, I'm telling you, like, this is literally what healthcare workers go through every single day of their life. I can't count how many times there's been talks, there's been protests, there's been requests from healthcare workers to governments of not just one country, several countries in the world for them to provide the appropriate and adequate PPE these health workers need every single day of their life at work. But then they never paid attention. They lived it. They never paid attention. And it had to take something like COVID-19, an outbreak of this magnitude, to bring their attention to it. At least I take solace in the fact that at least attention has been brought to it. But then I'm telling you, like, this is literally what nurses and doctors go through every day of their life, COVID, corona or not. How did the corona start? Have you ever stopped to think about that? How did it start? It started with a nurse and a doctor working in a hospital without appropriate PPE and thinking probably no need for it. I mean, we've just got 4 PPE or how many in the hospital? We don't want to waste it now. Just, we don't want to waste it. So a patient comes in, oh nurse, he's dying, he can't breathe properly, he's got fever and he's got headaches and he's got breathing problems in it. And then the nurse is the first contact, like always. And then she checks in, does the regular evaluation, physical examination and all that before sending him to the doctor. Now the nurse has come in contact with this patient, and then sends it to the doctor. The doctor does the same thing and maybe sends his results to the lab for them, his tests to the lab for them to send his result across. Meanwhile, all this while they're waiting for the result. Before the result comes, they probably close for the day. Doctor goes home, transmits it to his family. Nurse goes home, transmits it to his family and other people that might have come in contact with the nurse and doctor. And then it spreads. And then test results come out. Oh my God! Oh, this guy has got COVID, and COVID spreads like this and like that and like that. It's already too late. Nurse already has it. Her family members already has it. Her family members went to work as well, so they probably transferred it to their colleague as well. The doctor's family members also went to work, and they probably transferred it to their colleague as well. You see how crazy this can get. That is why we've been screaming for PPE, not just in this corona era, not just in this COVID-19 era, but generally, like, we need PPE for our everyday work. We do. So what I'm trying to tell you is, watching the video, you could see how much sacrifice a nurse gives, leaving her family every day, not knowing what is going to happen that day, not knowing if she's going to be the one to make that patient zero. Patient zero, for those of you that don't know, is in healthcare is simply the first person that starts transmitting an infectious disease. That's the patient zero. That's the number 1 person that started transmitting the disease. But the nurses, they go to work every day. They sacrifice a lot, and then nobody ever recognizes the nurse. Nobody. And then, as much as watching those previous videos, the first video I showed before I started talking, as much as it's so touching seeing people across the world clapping, I felt so emotional coming back from work, and I just saw people clapping from the balcony, from everywhere, screaming. Oh, like, it was really touching for me. I started crying. But then when I came back to my apartment, it dawned on me that, oh, really? It had to take something of this magnitude for them to recognize that a registered nurse is an important person. And then rather than putting their mind and rather than putting resources and rather than respecting people that take up positions where it matters, people prefer to look at the celebrities, the footballers, the politicians. But then at this point, it now falls back on us frontliners to save lives, which is what we signed up for anyway, isn't it? But then this is what I say, and that's what I always say. I feel people should be paid, people should be given what they deserve. And I feel like health workers deserve more than they are getting. Nurses especially. They deserve far more than they are getting. And I pray that even after this corona episode, whenever it stops, I pray that nurses and doctors, they are really placed where they're supposed to be. Especially nurses, I pray that they get paid what they really deserve. Because come to think about it, at the end of the day, the professionals, the celebrity, the musicians, the artists, the people that usually earn more than these other people really working to save lives, they are back in their homes now, their luxurious homes. But these frontliners are left to risk their life, to risk their family every single day they go out. But then that is what they do every other day they go out, corona or not. Corona or not, every single day I leave my house, I am at risk of contracting one disease or the other. I may be the one to first discover the disease. I may be the first person to get in contact with patient 0, and then I'll be tested. So, the first nurse that got in contact with this patient was discovered to have the disease, blah blah blah, and then they use me as a lab rat. That is literally what happens every day. Corona just brought our eyes, opened a lot of people's eyes to it, like, literally this is what these people go through every day. So corona or not is what we go through. The only difference now is I go to work and my workload is quadruple. Like literally sometimes at work, when I go to work, sometimes at work it gets so overwhelming. And then I literally have to go to the bathroom and cry. And then I come out strong again and start to work again. Upper week was the worst week of my life. I'm a registered nurse in Nigeria. I'm not just a registered nurse in Nigeria. I'm a registered nurse, I'm a registered midwife, and I'm a registered public health nurse. And I've worked across all aspects. Let me not say all aspects of health, but I've worked across many aspects of health. And believe me, telling you all the things I am, I've seen a lot in healthcare. But nothing. I've never seen anything like what I saw 2 weeks ago. And that's why I've been AWOL, not continue with my vlog and all that. It's overwhelming. I was so overwhelmed. Like watching my patients, watching people dying, and there's absolutely nothing I can do to save them. It was really a heartbreaking moment for me. It broke me. It did. I had to take a break. Because at the end of the day, this is what it entails. When you're in a battle, when you get wounded, you become a weakling among your fellow warriors. You need to retreat, and someone stronger needs to take your place, and then you retreat and go and treat yourself and go and get your strength back. When you're well enough, you come back to the battlefront. That is what it is. You just take a break for someone else to take your place. And that's exactly what I did. And I came back stronger and better. I hope, after this pandemic, nurses are given the respect they really deserve. And not just respect. I came back the other day from work, and I saw all these people clapping. as much as I appreciate you clapping, I feel like it did encourage me, I was really proud. I think that's one of the times in my life that I've been really, really proud to be a nurse. I must say that. And, but then when I came back home, it dawned on me, na clapping we go chop. Na clapping we go chop. I feel like nurses and doctors should earn as much as the celebrities and whatever. We should be able to earn as much as they're earning, especially in terms of hazard. And in terms of hazard, I know if I say this, a lot of people will come for me, but I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. In terms of hazard, in a place like Nigeria, the other day I heard that they wanted to pay healthcare workers some hazard, 50,000 for doctors, 30,000 for nurses. Are you mad? Are you mad? The truth is, in healthcare, the first person a patient comes in contact with is the nurse. If anybody is supposed to earn high hazard money, it should be the nurse. The nurse is supposed to be paid 50,000. Yes. The nurse is supposed to, because she's the one that really comes in contact. As a matter of fact, right now, once a nurse comes in contact with a patient, and the patient has got a really, really high temperature, from there they quarantine that person first of all before the doctor comes to see the patient. The doctor is already very, very much prepared. The doctor is already very, very much prepared and knows what to do. But then the nurse is the first person that faces her, and at that point in time she doesn't know if this person has got COVID or not. She's the one that determines whatever. So she's the first contact. Because she's the first contact, she's the person more at risk to contracting whatever infection, not just COVID. So I feel like nurses should be paid more hazard than the doctors. And back in Nigeria, I had the opportunity of working in a place where you could literally see what these people are really paid, and what it breaks down to, what it comes out to. And then I think the hazard for a doctor, this year I said while I'm talking to you on my channel, I'm going to be giving you facts. The fact is, the doctor's hazard fee is higher than that of every other person. The doctor, I think, earns 50,000 and above for hazard fee monthly. The pharmacists earn 27,000, and I think the nurses that paid 5,000 in Nigeria for hazard. I'm using Nigeria as a case study now because this is the country I know how their system works, especially healthcare workers working in their government hospitals. So literally, this is it, and it calls to question why. Please tell me, whoever coined out this breakdown, if it's not wickedness, tell me what it is. Because I'm trying to understand why a pharmacist, both pharmacists and laboratory scientists, I think their pay is 27,500. Tell me, I got the receipts, baby. I got the receipts, man. Tell me why a pharmacist will earn more hazard than a nurse. Is a pharmacist not exposed to a patient than a nurse? Like, why? You tell me, they inhale drugs, they inhale whatever. Let's use this pandemic period for an example. Each and every one of those pharmacists are wearing gloves. Each and every one of them is wearing masks. And again, nothing stopped them from wearing masks when taking care of their medication, whatever. So you see, they cover their nose. I know as much as you cover your nose, you will say, if the pharmacist can cover their nose while dishing out medications and all that, why the nurses should also cover their nose when taking care of the patient. And I ask myself, do they really have that PPE? And even if they have the PPE, coming in contact with patients is different from coming in contact with the medication. Because medication is not going to touch you. Medication fluid is not going to pour on you. But when you come in contact with patients, you don't know what to expect with them. Their breathing, droplet nuclei can touch your skin and you won't even know. So you are wearing a mask, you are wearing hand gloves, but then when you take it off, the one on your shirt, the one on your skin, are you not going to clean that one? How do you even know it's even there? Did you see when he blew it on your skin? So tell me why a laboratory science, even a laboratory scientist, to some extent, I kind of understand why their hazard fee is high as well, because they come in contact with body fluids and all that. But I feel like body fluid is not going to touch you. If you wear your lab coats and whatever, body fluid is not like a human being. You can predict based on where you keep it. You are the one moving the body fluids around. So the hazard is more on you. Like you can control the hazard. Let me use that word. With the pharmacist and with the laboratory scientists, both of them can control their hazard. But no matter how careful you are, they still need to be paid a good fee for hazard. Yeah. In fact, my take is all health workers need to be paid a good fee for hazard, but nurses need to be paid the highest. Not because I'm a nurse, but look at it logically. So tell me why the Nigerian government is paying a nurse 5,000 naira for hazard, and paying a medical doctor 50,000 naira for hazard, and paying a medical lab scientist and a pharmacist 27,000 higher than that of a nurse. If that is not wickedness, tell me what it is. Is it because nursing is a female-dominated profession? Because I'm trying to understand why. So this and several other things, these are the things you can see, and you would understand why in Nigeria a medical doctor's salary is so higher than that of a nurse. Believe me, it's not like that in other countries. It is not like that in other countries. Even if it's higher in other countries, the disparity is not as much. In Nigeria, it's crazy. It's disgustingly crazy. When you look at it, you're like trying to understand why. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. What I'm here to talk about today is I'm just using this medium to say COVID or no COVID, coronavirus or no coronavirus, even after this moment, may we not forget who really stood up in times like this for us. May we not forget who really mattered, or what really mattered in times like this. What really mattered, which includes family, love, and health. And who are the people upholding the health? The healthcare workers. They deserve more. They deserve more than clapping. They deserve more than just words of encouragement. They deserve more. And I'm calling on everyone involved, not just healthcare workers, not just politicians, not just celebrities, not just footballers. I'm calling on everyone. Please, after this moment, let's all remember the healthcare workers and pay them what they deserve, especially the nurses. Because at the end of the day, if you really look at this the way you should, medical doctors, as much as everybody in the healthcare deserve a raise in their salary, medical doctors, their salary is not that bad. Even if it can be better, it's not that bad. But the one for nurses is nothing to write home about. And that is why people keep leaving this profession. The job is so much and they don't pay you enough. A lot of people are in jobs worse than even nursing. Yes, they are. But then when you look at the pay kind of suits the job, and then you're like, okay, at the end of the day, when they pay you, the pay acts like kind of like a cushion. But nursing is the other way around. The job is too much. They expect you to do a lot, but you don't get paid enough. You do not get paid enough. I'm not saying, oh, you should be a nurse because of the money, no. But come on. Everything in this world, forget what they tell you is money driven. Being a nurse is not money driven. Obviously, it's a passion of yours. But so is playing football. Playing football is also a passion of a lot of people. But then when they go to play football, they have agents that bargain price for them. And if you don't meet up their price, even if they're Chelsea fans, they wouldn't want to play for Chelsea if Chelsea is offering to pay them £20,000 and Manchester United is offering 100. They're going to go to Manchester. So it's a similar thing here. So please, I'm calling on the government. I'm calling on all parties involved. Whether during this period, if you can, or if you may, or after this period, the salaries of nurses as well as doctors, but mostly nurses, because theirs is so poor. It's so poor. That's why a lot of people are leaving the profession. So please, I'm calling on the government and any other party involved. Please look into the salary of nurses, the UK government, the US government, Nigerian government, Nigeria especially. Look into the nurses' salary, especially their hazards. Look into it. Thank you.